I was gonna say Dean Ambrose, but I'm never really putting in something.
All right. Okay. Well, no, you can have, you can have more than one.
Alright
You know,
then,
with Dean
Dean
Ambrose.
Ambrose. Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
good. All right then. MCC, if you could, have your own promotion, we need a tag match, a singles match, and a main event. What would yours be?
What, a promotion or a show?
Your show,
Uh,
like
yeah, your show,
your
your
dream
fantasy,
tag match,
yeah.
and
Dream
normal single match, and a main event.
If it was on the level of WrestleMania, I would
Mhm.
have in probably someone either like someone like Shinsuke Nakamura
Mhm.
or AJ Styles versus probably someone really, really big. So, say for example, the main event of WrestleMania in the future, do Shinsuke Nakamura versus someone like John Cena. So, like these two huge, charismatic icons, something like
Yeah.
that.
You
I'm not
tag
really
team match?
sure what else. I mean, there's
Oh,
there's
it's like a tag team,
there's
sorry.
too many to sort of just come off with at the top of my head.
it's
So
quite tough.
Yeah, of course, that's fine. Um, right,
Yeah.
Jamie,
All right,
what would you do?
tag team match. All right, have to
Let's say
be
tag team.
Chavo Guerrero and Eddie Guerrero
No.
Yeah.
against Hardy Boys.
Okay. Yep. Let's say your singles match,
My
and
single
then
match would
your main
be
event.
Shawn Michaels, Seth Rollins' first blood match.
Nice. Yeah, that's very nice.
My main event, I
And
can't believe
your
you
main
forgot
event.
about this. You have to have Undertaker. Undertaker and oh. Alright, I don't want to
Who
hold
you got?
anyone up. I'm gonna go with Stone Cold. I don't know. Stone Cold Hell in the Cell.
Oh, nice. All right. So for mine, singles match, I would like to see Seth Rollins take on CM Punk in
Nice.
a. Let's give them a three stages of hell match.
I'd
The
love
tag
to see
team
that.
match. The tag team match has to be the Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian versus the Dudleys versus the Brothers of Destruction in an Inferno match.
Very nice.
Brothers of Destruction, favorite tag team of all
And
time.
yeah, and then I think for a absolutely for a great main event, I never said phenomenal. That wasn't a hint, by the way. I think I'd like to see Shinsuke Nakamura versus Finn Balor
No, I was thinking.
versus let's put Tommy Dreamer in there
I would. Oh,
the
okay.
for a hardcore title.
I would like to see
No.
Shinsuke Nakamura fight Daniel Bryan.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
yeah, Daniel
Mm,
Bryan says that's one of his regrets about
No,
retiring. The
One
fact
more.
that he
not
never
getting.
got to face Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah,
Another one
that's
I
who
would
he
love
needs.
is CM Punk and Edge. Don't know why. I just love to
I
Yeah,
see
think
that.
that's already been.
that's
I
an
think that was
interesting
done,
one
but it wasn't
actually.
really.
Yeah. I don't
Because they're
think
not
did that
like
actually happen before? I
weightlifters.
can't actually
It,
remember.
I know
it
CM Punk
happened,
cashed
but it
in
wasn't.
2008.
But
Like
I'm talking
they
like a
never really had
WrestleMania
like a
match.
huge.
Yeah, I'm talking
Yeah,
like a
they
WrestleMania
never.
I
feud.
think it was a SmackDown match, wasn't it? I think it was a SmackDown
Yeah,
main
but I
event.
don't.
It's
Yeah,
probably
I don't think
happened.
they had like a huge sort of storyline though, didn't they?
That's what I'd
As
like.
far from what
Yeah,
I
it's
can
probably
remember,
just like.
anyway.
Hmm. All right.
That's a good one though.
Uh,
That's a good one
Yeah,
actually.
that's what I'd like. A
Yeah.
good
yeah.
feud for Mania, like that. Great match.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Uh, I'm sure there's plenty more that we could
Yeah.
think of, and like really create our own either show or and the dream roster. But
If
now,
any of you guys and
if
fans know any good matches with CM Punk and Edge, just put that down in the comments.
oh yeah, brilliant. Yeah, thanks for actually bringing that. What we'd like to do is, like Jamie just said, if you've got any dream matches you'd love to see or could possibly, you know,
Because
just
I'd love to see
put
that.
it in the comments.
And I hope I haven't missed out.
Yeah,
Much like that.
Yeah, enlighten us on what your favourite matches would be.
Yeah, of course. Tell us your favourite matches, your dream matches, and get
I've got loads in
leave
my
comments,
head.
get involved because we could just talk about this for we could turn this into a 2-hour podcast of fantasy matches, but of course we want as many of your guys' opinions as possible. We're doing this for you. It's not just our opinions. Um, all right. Now I think this one, this one was actually suggested by Space Shots. Jamie, you said you wanted a rumours round.
Rumors
I think.
roundup.
Yeah. Sorry. What I was saying was, after rumours roundup, we can spend quite a lot of time on this one. But then I know, speaking to MCC earlier, he said he'd like to discuss cruiserweight,
Yeah,
the cruiserweight classic as well.
definitely.
And then as soon as we've discussed that, maybe we could go into some indies, and I'm not just talking, Ring of Honor. I mean, British indies, which is something that's quite special to me. And obviously, I love hearing opinions, not only, you know, as a wrestler, but I also love hearing what fans have to say. It's sort of.
Yeah.
I think that was the main reason, wasn't it? So
It
yeah,
does.
let's go to
Alright, I'll start off the
rumor
first
roundup.
rumour.
Yeah,
Alright, you want me to read it out?
do it.
On Sunday morning's
go ahead.
Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer confirmed that WWE has called a bunch of different names in the last 24 to 48 hours about returning to the company. There are several names that he has talked to but was told to keep quiet on them, but he was able to reveal the names like Carlito, MVP, Stevie Richards, and many others have been called.
That's
So what do you think
brilliant.
of that?
Stevie Richards made it at WrestleMania 20, didn't he?
MVP. MVP is one of my favourite wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carlito, he's been
It's funny.
asking to come back.
It's funny.
Well,
It's funny speaking of Carlito because he is Primo and Epico's cousin.
yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Does that mean Los Matadores would have to disband and they'd just be Primo and Epico again? Because they haven't really been doing that well.
Oh,
And
they're
as
trying to start that
Primo
now,
and
aren't
Epico come up with their
Yeah.
little
they? They're the shining stars now, aren't
bodyguards
they?
sort of thing. Huh?
What, are they?
Yeah, didn't they make the shining stars Primo and Epico? They're
I'm
not
not-
Lost Stories anymore.
I'm not
Okay,
100% sure.
It's about probably the fifth or sixth character Primo's had, or like them
Not
as a tag team has
surprised.
had.
No,
Stereotype you
we were talking about this earlier, wasn't we? Before we did the podcast, we were talking about MCC. What you brought up a point about minorities, so it wasn't exactly. Could you repeat what you said earlier?
Well, I read something a while ago. I think it was one of the WWE writers who actually mentioned this, or a former writer. Basically, how television works in America is sometimes certain shows on certain networks they need to, but they are required to actually include different different races or minorities or to kind of cover all these different areas on TV. Like as an example, Seth Rollins. I'm not sure where he's actually because he's half. If you guys can help
German,
me out.
isn't he?
He's got
German.
German
He's got
blood,
German in
Irish
him.
blood.
No, I think it's either South American or Eastern European. I really cannot remember. But either way, Seth Rollins, they can actually get away with putting him on TV as WWE champion because it actually covers a minority. Obviously, you have guys like you were saying, like Primo and Epico. It's like, why are they even on TV? I mean, like they were doing like sort of vignettes or promos, and we haven't even seen that for the past 2-3 weeks now.
Oh,
So what's the point in even having them on TV? If you're gonna have them in your company, at least give them a chance and
Yeah, of course.
sort of give them something to work with, not like Los Matadores or having a little ball or going out doing these stupid vignettes. Like actually
I
give
agree.
them something to actually work with and at least give them a chance.
Yeah.
If they fail at it, then fair enough, get rid of them, send them to NXT, whatever. but at least just give them a shot or split them up and just see how they do.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, by the way, but he's half Armenian and half German and Irish.
Yes,
Armenian,
yes,
yeah.
that's it. Yes,
Sorry, it's
Armenian.
Armenian.
Yes, you got it. Yeah.
Armenian, German, and
Yeah.
Irish. Just looked up.
Yeah.
Is German and Armenian, right? Okay.
And Irish, yeah.
But you know, like you said earlier about minorities, it's very, very recent, but NXT have signed a Chinese competitor.
Yeah, from NXT. They signed
being
a German soccer / football player, goalkeeper as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Tim
Whatever his
Wise.
name is.
Yeah.
He's a
But do you
bodybuilder.
not think
German.
WWE are actually clutching at straws because
They signed a
now
lot of
they're just
people,
trying
haven't
to
they?
get-
They have a lot of people who haven't even debuted yet.
They're
Like
just
live
signing in
TV.
big names. Here's the problem, though.
signed a lot of
If
people.
WWE is struggling that badly, wouldn't they need to think about maybe
Because I think what they're doing,
not
right?
exactly shutting down?
I think what they're doing, they're bringing loads of
They're
people
gonna
from
pull in big
NXT
names.
up to
Yep.
main roster, so they're bringing loads of people from other companies into NXT.
And apparently, though, they're wanting to bring more UFC fighters in. I don't know if it could be a total rumor, but
Well,
I'd heard that
we
they're considering bringing in Ronda Rousey to actually do something.
yeah, that's been a long time rumor.
Yeah, that's been ever since like WrestleMania
Since like
31,
WrestleMania
hasn't it?
31, yeah. Stephanie McMahon and Ronda Rousey's arm locks.
As well as, but
Conor
apparently, though, they
McGregor.
want
Yeah, he got rumored, but that's not
Conor
gonna happen.
McGregor.
He said he hates like wrestling,
Really?
like this style.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a shame because like he would just be money for them.
Yeah,
He'd be like
he'll
a
sell
small
out
version of Brock
shirts
Lesnar.
after
Like,
shirt.
Yeah, and he can talk as well. That's the
Yeah.
thing. He can talk him into the building.
Mm.
I guess so.
Like going back to what you were saying about them bringing in guys like Carlito and
Yeah.
MVP, Shelton Benjamin, etc.
Yeah.
Like I was just sort of looking on Wikipedia the other day. Did you know Shelton Benjamin's actually 40 years old?
Yeah,
If it's
yeah.
40, I'd be
MVP's in his
shocked if he
40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, do you think it's a good idea that they bring in people like Carlito, Shelton Benjamin,
Well,
Chris
I'm
Moss,
gonna-
etc. Or
Well,
would you
I
think
think
it's
4-year
probably a better
contract
idea
or
for
so
them
on.
to go into NXT and use those guys?
Ah, wow. That's a really interesting
Well, I
point.
think
I
like
mean,
a 3 to 4-year contract isn't too bad.
yeah, I think it's shock. It's quite
Yeah,
surprising.
MVP's
I mean,
42.
look at
Is
MVP.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give him like a
I
2
think
or
it's
3
kind
year
of
contract. They can
it's
still
kind of a
wrestle.
shame at the same time because like
Yeah.
if they were just going to split the rosters in two like they are, then
Yeah.
surely they shouldn't need anyone else because that was kind of the idea of it and to begin with because they already had too many people. So
Yeah.
if you split the rosters in half, then it means
get a lot
people
more.
who would normally be
Big selection.
yeah, exactly. People who would normally be in the mid cards by
Mhm.
Will get
default they would
A push.
then be high cards
Yeah,
if
they
the
get that
show's
big
split in
push.
two.
Be main event.
Exactly. Yeah.
I would like
Before
to
you know
see
it.
though. I mean, I know he's in his 40s, but Shelton Benjamin. I mean, he went.
Yeah.
He was so
he sort of
underrated.
So
So
underrated,
underrated.
yeah.
I
Very
Same with
underrated.
MVP,
he-
same with loads of other people.
I mean, I know he did a couple of WrestleMania Money in the Bank matches, but my personal favourite Shelton Benjamin moment, well, I have two. One of them was back in the early, I think it was 2005, when he jumped off the rope straight into Shawn Michaels switching.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's something to
Yeah.
The other
remember.
moment, the other
Yeah.
moment, I
And
think he was
he beat
absolutely insane.
and he beat Triple H clean on Raw as well. So
He
they
did.
obviously had some
Some
had
sort
like
of push ready for
you know
him.
they yeah, exactly, yeah.
Didn't we make him
It's a shame,
ECW
though.
champion back
Didn't
in
he
like
come up with Brock
2010?
Lesnar?
Yeah, he used to be in a
Was
tag
he
team with
the-
Brock Lesnar
he-
before he went to
was he-
WWE.
Yeah.
Was he the ECW champion?
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, he was ECW champion. He beat Christian, but then lost it again.
Ah, right.
But no, like,
World's Greatest Tag Team.
The rec-
Was that what they're called?
oh
World's
yeah, Charlie
Greatest Tag
Hart.
Yeah,
Charlie
yeah,
Hart.
Charlie Hart.
Shelton Benjamin.
That angle.
Isn't he dead now, Charlie
Charlie
Hart?
Haas, another one underrated as well.
Charlie Hart. I don't think he is.
I'm not sure. I might be getting confused with someone
I
else.
think Charlie Haas is. I think he was working for Ring of Honor recently.
No,
but
no,
I
he's not
think
dead. I'm
just
getting confused with
working
someone
indies.
else. I'm getting confused with someone else.
Yeah. What's his name?
What, Charlie
Who's
Haas?
this?
No, the guy that you're thinking of. I think I know who you're thinking of.
Yeah,
What's his
they were in the
Who?
same like video game. That's why I get confused with them. SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. That's why I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
Stevie
I
Richards.
don't know. No, it's not Stevie Richards because this guy's dead.
No.
But it
Stevie
doesn't
Richards
matter. Let's
still
go on.
alive.
Is
Yeah,
it Lance
I know.
Cade?
So it's not Stevie.
Are you thinking of Lance
Lance.
Cade?
Yeah,
Oh, Lance
yeah, I was
Cade.
thinking of
Yeah,
him.
Lance Cade's dead. Yeah.
Or Test.
Yeah, Test.
Yeah,
Well,
Test. I used
but
to
no,
like
like
Test.
going back to Shelton Benjamin, he was insane because he not only did he do that ladder fall at WrestleMania 24,
Yeah.
the following year he did a senton from the top, didn't he? Where he flipped over.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really, really
Nice.
good, Shelton Benjamin.
Um, if they were to return, who would you like to see them feud with?
I think I'd like to see them in the same position Rob Van Dam was like 2 or 3 years ago, where you kind of have them in the mid cards, helping the younger guys get over. Like they shouldn't be on the top. They shouldn't be at the top of the card, really, because I think that's why they are bringing them in the first place, to help the younger talent they bring up from NXT and help them get over. Like someone like Baron Corbin, for example. He
Yeah.
needs
Rotate
people with the
Yeah.
experience, like
Oh my gosh,
like
Rob
Dolph
Van
Ziggler
Dam.
has.
Rob
Yeah.
Van Dam versus Baron Corbin would be pretty cool. I'd quite like that.
Oh, this is very annoying me now. I found a picture of the guy I was thinking of, and it doesn't say his name. Oh,
Is it? I think it might be Lance Cade though.
I don't know
Trevor
if that's his
Murdoch?
name.
No, Trevor Murdoch's still alive. I believe he's on the Indies.
Oh, are you talking about a dead wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Late Joe's definitely not man.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not quite sure who that is. It looks a
see
bit
it.
like it looks like a really bad version of Neville. It actually does.
Yeah, who's
Those
that?
guys. Oh, Sean O'Hare?
Yes, 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 yes.
Sean
Thank you,
O'Hare.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
It's
That's
when
it.
it's when you mentioned Neville.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh right, Sean O'Hare.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, Sean O'Hare. He was
That's what I was thinking of.
really underrated actually.
That's who I was thinking
he
of.
was really good.
And I thought of Charlie
Yeah.
Lars.
Do you remember those like promos he cut on SmackDown
Yeah,
before he like debuts? And he was
Yeah.
like in
Yeah.
the suit. Yeah.
I enjoyed him.
Yeah, it was absolutely hilarious.
He died at like
Right,
30 or under 30, something really young.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I think it was
wrestlers
like
that have
29.
joined the 27 club. There's a lot that are, that were 27 and died.
What's his name? The UK guy. Was it 27 when he died? Chris Travis? Or was it 23?
No,
It's one or the other.
no. Chris Travis was older than that.
Was he?
I mean, if you want to bring up Chris Travis,
Nah, it's
I'm
just,
gonna.
just go past that.
No, I know. Now you've brought him up, mentioned him. I know a lot of fans.
He was a friend of
I
Neville's,
know his
wasn't
name is WB. He was a friend of Neville's. Christopher Travis was part of one of the indie shows that I'm going to be covering in a little bit.
Yeah,
Well,
passed
actually,
away.
two of them.
Last week, like a few months ago.
He did the day before April Fool's Day, the day before, and you see he was actually supposed to be with TNA when he did Boot Camp 2, which was where indie stars had compete. It was the best indie stars that had go and they'd do like a bit of a challenge. They had to cut a promo, yada yada, and the top 16 went to TNA, and week by week they'd be one, but yeah, if Trav wasn't, if it didn't affect him and it didn't kill him, I'd think they'd put Chris Travis in the cruiserweight thing soon. But yeah, I'll speak a bit more of Chris Travis in a little bit actually.
Big name in
Right.
the UK scene, wasn't he?
Yeah, certainly was. All right, so what else were we doing for?
Jerry
have you found any-
Lawler,
Oh,
MCC wanted something
That was-
about, I forgot what it was. Was it Kurt Angle?
Yeah, was it Kurt Angle?
I know you wanted something, but I forgot
What's
what it
this?
was.
What's this about Kurt Angle?
You mentioned talking about something, I forgot what it was.
Besides-
I think it was probably something just to do with whether or not they should bring back guys like Shelton Benjamin, Carlito,
Oh
etc.
yeah,
Or do you think they should bring up NXT stars instead?
yeah, that's a good
I think
point.
they should do both. They have
Right.
a massive selection now.
Oh yeah, there'd be so.
The brand split has just
Yeah,
developed WWE so much now. They really need to do it.
yeah.
So what else?
Right, I think MCC, you wanted to discuss the cruiserweight.
Oh, that was it. That was what we discussed. The
Yeah,
cruiserweight.
this is what you wanted.
So, which stars are you looking forward to the most in the Cruiserweight Classic?
I'm looking forward to
In the
Garcia,
cruiserweight classic.
mainly because I've been like following him before he went to Global Force Wrestling and all
Who
that.
is this?
I've followed him for a long time. He's some Indian guy. He was in the group called the Bollywood
Um,
Boys in Global Force Wrestling, a new wrestling company in the US. You may
Yeah.
not have
Oh
heard of
yeah,
it.
Jeff Jarrett's one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now
Personally,
he's come pretty far. And Zack Sabre
I've
Jr., you know,
actually.
repping.
Oh, Zack Sabre Jr. Yeah,
Yeah.
repping the UK with pride alongside
Yeah.
Noam Dar.
Yep.
Now, in all honesty, personally, I think, um, that it's going to come down to them two. They're going to have a very,
Yeah, I
very
think
technical
Zack
match.
Sabre Jr. is going to
Mm.
be up there. He's going to be one of the favourites to win it.
Yeah, I
And
think
become an
I think
NXT
Zack
superstar.
Sabre Jr. in general, he has a really good chance of getting signed by
Yeah.
WWE ultimately.
I think
Well,
he might win it and get
dubbed
signed.
him, haven't they? They've already said he's the best technical wrestler
Oh,
ever
absolutely.
not to be signed by
He's
the
the next
company.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Zack
Yeah,
Sabre
think-
Jr. is the next Daniel Bryan, definitely.
yeah.
I think the
Ronan.
two finalists will get through to
Yeah.
NXT.
What
I
do
reckon
you
they'll have
think
a big
about
feud.
this Cruiserweight Classic?
Well, yeah, I think people like you said, like Zack Sabre Jr. and Noam Dar will do well in it.
Here's
Yeah,
the question: what do you think of
Sorry.
in this TJ Perkins? You know, suicide slash manic.
I don't think he has a good chance. I don't think he has a big chance. I mean, he's quite a big name because he's from Impact. But apart from that, I don't think he has much of a chance. You never know. He might get to
Which
NXT and not win
was
it.
he? Was he the original? Was he Manic or
Yeah.
Suicide? Or were
He
they the
was
same
both.
character? I
Suicide.
was confused
Okay,
by TNA.
Yeah, he was
I was too.
suicide, and so what happened was he was the character suicide. Then Austin Aries attacked him in 2011, and then
Well,
he became manic, and then
And
he
then
joined.
because I
He
remember
joined
Austin
James
Aries coming out dressed as Suicide. I
Suicide.
think
Yeah,
Frankie Kazarian, Christopher Daniels. There's so many people who were Suicide at one point.
no, Christopher Daniels I don't think was ever suicide. Christopher Daniels was Curryman.
Oh, Curry.
Which is
Yeah,
terrible.
sorry. Yeah, Curry Man. You're right. Yeah,
terrible.
Curry Man. Yeah.
That was a
Worth
terrible,
the
terrible.
WWE booking. Can I just say something? Can I just ask you a
Yeah, of
question?
course.
Is Jay Lethal win it? I don't think he is, but I'm just asking.
No.
Jay Lethal's the Ring of Honor champion.
I know that. I know.
Yeah.
I follow Ring of Honor a lot.
No,
I really wanted
they
him in it.
wouldn't.
Nah.
If he was signed by Ring of Honor, he wouldn't.
I want him in NXT bad. He's
Yeah.
my favourite current Ring of
yeah.
Honor superstar. Probably of all time as well.
Just discussing the Cruiserweight Classic, do you have any predictions or any match types you'd actually like to see happen?
I hope they're all singles matches and no
Uh,
gimmick matches.
Maybe some
Just
like
straight up cruiserweight.
Do you not think there'd be like a triple threat
Hardcore?
Cruiserweight? Like, no one. I don't think with WWE being the era that it's in, this whole PG era.
I'm talking about Extreme Rules hardcore sort of thing. Hardcore like
Oh.
Extreme Rules. Because obviously
Ah.
because it's PG era, they're not going to do like matches they used to do with like First Blood and stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Triple H,
And even further
that's not gonna
matches.
happen. That's what I don't like about WWE right now. It's getting way too PG.
Yeah. So, do you think the Cruiserweight Classic being what it is that a hint that they're bringing back the Cruiserweight Championship, or is it a trophy?
I think they'll bring it back.
I hope they bring it back.
I hope they bring it back, but I expect it will
But if they
be
bring
a
it back,
trophy.
they got to bring out like another one for like the
They died
Hardcore
before
Championship or
Unstoppable.
something.
It could be something where they do it every year, like the Best of the Super Juniors in New Japan, which is
Yeah.
basically like a cruiserweight tournament with a
Yeah.
trophy at the end. Whoever wins the
They should
trophy
do it.
in New
Whoever
Japan,
whoever
they
wins
actually
goes to
get-
NXT. That's what I'm
They,
thinking.
they actually like get a shot at their equivalent of the cruiserweight title, which is the junior heavyweight. So they may
Right.
do something like they could bring back the cruiserweight title. Whoever wins the tournament, they win the trophy, and they also get a shot at the title. But
So
yeah,
what they'd have to
I
do
hope
is-
they bring back the title.
So I think, well, personally, I'm hoping to do it as sort of like I know we're focusing on WWE, but you know, like TNA when they did Feast or Fired, when Austin Aries, were it Feast? No, I think it was Feast or Fired or something like that. You know, where they'd be able to swap that way. If they became champion, they'd have the option to sort of. It was famous with the X Division title, from the X Division title to the World Heavyweight Championship. Austin Aries did that, you know, and I'm hoping that what they do is, as soon as they win the trophy is, you know, a bit like the Money in the Bank case, anytime they want, but they've got to relinquish the trophy for a shot at the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah, I agree.
Would you like to see it something like that, or would you just
Yeah.
prefer to get
Yeah,
or
I'd
just
be down with that.
MCC?
I would say it's. I would say if they kind of just do it the way New Japan does it, where
Hmm.
they don't necessarily keep the trophies on them like all the time, like Money in the
No.
Bank, and they don't get rid of the trophies, but like, just like Slammies, where like
Yeah.
they'll win the trophy and they can just keep it,
Yeah,
like
it's an
you know,
achievement to
just
look back on.
whatever.
Yeah.
But like,
Oh, okay.
winning, like they should make it important. So whoever wins the trophy, then chances are they'll have a career in NXT. And if there is a cruiserweight title that exists at some point, then they could
Yeah.
get a shot at that as well.
Yeah, that'd be that. But yeah, I'm surprised with Zack Sabre Jr. He's, you know, if WWE have, you know, I've seen Zack Sabre Jr. wrestle, so obviously I can, you know, I can understand the accolade they've given him. But why haven't they given him that contract yet? Why haven't they?
Well,
I
maybe
mean,
it's not. Maybe it's not them. Maybe it's just Zack Sabre Jr. Maybe he felt like he
I think he's
would
one of the
rather
favourites to win.
build he would rather build himself in the independence and prepare himself for the WWE,
Which is smart.
and so he
yeah,
can kind of yeah. He
yeah,
may
I
maybe he's just picking the right time because I think at the
yeah,
end
of
of the
course,
day he's going to get signed by WWE. He's too good for them not to, and
yeah,
Yeah,
they know.
next
And I think also
Daniel
and I
Bryan.
think Evolve, I believe, have a relationship with. Oh no, not Evolve. Sorry. Progress have a
Mhm.
relationship with
Yeah.
Evolve, and
Yeah.
Evolve has a relationship with NXT. So chances are a lot of the top stars in Progress will end up
That's
in NXT at some point. So
it's funny that you know, like the links between Progress and NXT. I mean, the Cruiserweight Classic is going to be absolutely intense. It's going to be, I think it's just going to be absolutely phenomenal, and I can't wait for that to actually, you know, start. Which I think, I think maybe the people listening to this should actually comment on this as well. Who they're, you know, once,
Who do you think the favourite is to win the
yeah, the
Cruiserweight
favourite to win, what they'd
Championship
like to
thing?
see. Okay, so now we're gonna, you know, sort of been blathering the whole thing, but this one does kind of mean a lot more to me than, you know, WWE does. I know that sounds really bad to say, you know, because where every wrestler or wannabe wrestler ends up, they want to be in the WWE.
Oh, of course. Biggest company there is. Right now, anyway.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
one day it will get. It won't be the biggest.
Well,
We'll overtake it
yeah,
one day,
that's the
maybe.
thing, isn't it? All right, so
If it keeps
now,
going down this path, it will.
yeah,
Speaking the truth. That idea.
yeah, you are. Don't worry, it's all right.
Yeah.
You know, we're all friends here.
I know I'm going to get a lot of
Okay,
hate,
so
but
well, like I said, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
yeah.
Okay, so now this is my area of specialty. I think with being a trainee wrestler, and that's the British Indies. There were a name, the name you brought back a bit ago, Christopher Travis.
Yeah.
The companies that I know of and that he was very heavily involved with, three of them are actually where he's worked and where he's. I think there's only been one where he hasn't actually been champion of that company. So like I said, Chris Travis is a British wrestler from Sheffield who wrestled on the Indies. Um, you know, he's so, and you said Preston City Wrestling. Um, he was on that, and then as soon as he was also actually in charge of Preston. He was he wasn't exact. He was co-general manager, if you will. So he came up with a lot of,
Ideas.
behind this. Yeah. So when Chris was having his chemo treatment, he was told to stop, and he
Yeah, I heard
honestly
about
thought he wouldn't wrestle again. So he decided to take a manager job, and he had some absolutely phenomenal. Preston City are known for uh, the fans. Preston fans are just
Shout out to
absolutely
PCW,
amazing. Yeah, there's a big shout out to PCW there,
Preston City Wrestling.
because this, yeah, Mr. PCW was Chris
Mhm.
Travis. He was the PCW champion, the PCW heavyweight champion, which he held for quite a while. But he he's he wrestled Chris Masters. Chris Masters has been to PCW, but Preston has also hosted. They hosted something in honor of Chris
They've
Travis
had
when he was
they've had
when he was
big names
alive.
as well,
Oh yeah, they've had the
like
Dudley
Rob Van
Boys.
Dam.
They've
They've had
had
AJ
Rob Van
Styles.
Dam. Yeah, the Dudley Boys.
Yeah, so on and so
Um,
on.
but yeah, they do some really good charity work as well. So Preston City Wrestling has been around for quite a while now. And they did something in honor of Chris Travis. It was called the Shooting Star. I can't
Yeah,
remember the full name of it, but anyway, it was to do with being Shooting Star in honor of Chris Travis and Cavendish Cancer Care. And one of the matches was actually Chris Masters versus uh, a guy called Joey Hayes, who is actually Chris Travis's lookalike. He looks so. The only way to tell those two apart was for Joey Hayes to wear trunks that say "I'm not Trav," and respect to Joey Hayes. There's a respect to all the wrestlers. There's so many wrestlers I could name and thank but Joey Hayes sort of he's a bit of a tricky one because he's playing a heel at the minute. He's doing a very very good job at that. Well, he's made some comments regarding Chris Travis's death. When Trav was alive, and I think that's the thing with heels nowadays. Face and heels, you've got to be careful, haven't you? I mean, obviously your traditional faces pander to the crowd, do everything right, and then they're very careful with what they say. I mean, with a heel, they can pretty much say what they want. Yeah, Trav was involved with Progress Wrestling. He was involved with Preston, and yeah, he was someone who I've looked up to for quite a while. I've had a training session with him, a couple of training sessions. He's absolutely phenomenal guy.
I'm pretty glad you did.
Um,
Otherwise, you would have regretted it.
oh yeah, I mean I only ever saw him wrestle 3 times, but he
More than
was
once.
just absolutely phenomenal.
More
Just
than none.
absolutely phenomenal. Um, NGW, that full base one, where Christopher Travis was also part of. He was never the NGW champion. But he lived for his fans. He was a very very good wrestler, as either face and heel. He was just absolutely phenomenal. Um, NGW began in 2008, and currently is one of the top British indies. Um, so yeah, if there's any, real Brit indie fans that are listening to this, if you want to, comment your favourite UK indie, your favourite British indie, your favourite star, favourite moment,
Yeah.
if you've had an experience with an NGW wrestler or wherever you've been, comment. Progress is obviously a huge one. Now, here's the thing about Progress, Preston, and NGW. They all come together for a huge, huge 2-day tournament. It's the Brit Rest Fest,
I've heard of that.
which I would love to... You've heard of that?
Yeah.
Good. That's, Preston, Progress, NGW, Southside, and they're all just competing to be the best. It's a 2-day event.
My
Tickets are
opinion,
sold out, which I'm devastated.
I
Go on,
think
what's your
Progress
opinion on the...
is the best. It's close. Progress or PCW. Do you ask? I think.
Alright, Ron, what do you
never
think
goes.
about indies? What's the ones that you know of or heard of? What's your opinion on?
Ronan?
I think he's asleep.
Alright.
We apologise for that, ladies, ladies and gents. Okay, two
Go
brothers. Okay,
to MCC. So MCC,
yeah,
you know,
MCC.
if you know anything about indies or whatever, what's like your favourite one?
Well, if you can call it an indie, New Japan.
Yeah, I guess it's kind
Yeah,
of
I
an
think,
indie.
yeah.
Not really an indie in
Other
Japan, but
than that,
yeah,
yeah.
indie everywhere else.
Other than that, I guess Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
they're
probably,
great show.
yeah. To be honest though, I must admit I don't really watch that much Ring of Honor directly. I mainly see the start because they have a partnership with New Japan. I tend to see a
Yeah.
lot of the
Yeah, I
ROH
mainly just
stars
watch
through
like the
New Japan.
pay-per-views and stuff.
Yeah,
Like
that's
Jay
the
Lethal
way
and
to go
stuff, just to
about
keep
it.
up with it.
Yeah.
See what's
Yeah.
going on.
But yeah, sticking with indies and Scotland have one called
Gotta keep up with my
ICW
wrestling
in Seca.
logic. Oh, that's getting really
Yeah.
big. That's getting extremely
Have
big.
you heard of ICW?
It's on TV now. It's getting their own
People from
video
there.
game.
Yeah,
It's
oh,
getting
it's
big.
absolutely phenomenal.
And not just their own
Um,
video game, like it's on PC, Steam, PS4, and Xbox One. Get big on TV. You know, big
ICW
channels
is a Scottish wrestling
doing
promotion
it big.
which has the likes of Drew Galloway, who's wrestled in TNA. He
Yeah.
still
And
returns,
WWE.
over.
It's wrestling
Yeah, and
WWE.
WWE when he was
Drew
Drew
McIntyre.
McIntyre. A lot of these guys do hardcore wrestling matches. Oh, they call them death matches. They throw each other into bars. They'll smash glass into each other's head. But yeah, ICW actually have an event coming up pretty soon called Shug's Hoose Party.
Yeah,
That's how
I've heard about
which is
that. I've seen people talking about that on Instagram.
supposed to be absolute, which seems absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to actually see. But yeah, I mean, these are the sorts of indies. I'm going to be a bit biased. I love Progress, Preston, and NGW, and I want other fans to comment too. But yeah, I think what I have to say is, if you're going to go to an indie show, Preston, Progress, NGW are the ones. If you're into the hardcore wrestling, ICW are great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's some terrific talent there. You've
Terrific
got
crowd.
Jack Jester. Oh yeah.
Well, every time Raw
fantastic
does come
crowds
to
as
UK,
always.
Yeah, great
every time
crowd.
Raw comes to UK and stuff, it's great crowd. And
Oh
everything
yeah,
like that.
definitely. But
That's what I
think
love.
so,
That's what I love about WWE coming
that's
to
the thing
UK, the
with
crowd.
professional wrestling. With WWE, they only come pretty much once a year.
Yeah, because we have so
So
many
we only get to
chants.
see
We
something.
have so many chants. Like I hear the boring old chants all the time over there. No offense. No
Yeah.
offense. I'm just.
No offense to anyone,
Just-
it's- But let's be fair though, they're right when
It's
they
always
say
like
we're
this
only
is
here once a year.
boring or holy shit or so on.
Yeah, and that's the thing though
This
about
is awesome.
some of the fans. I mean, obviously, um, you've got fans that'll swear and it'll get a swear chant going, and they don't give a damn that kids are there. I think that's the thing though with crowds.
Just good. This is
Some
what it
of
should
them,
be
a lot of
like.
indies, just because they swear, it also gives the crowd, it gives the energy, for wrestlers to bounce off of. So I mean, I was at an event a few months ago, NGW. I actually filmed the event, and
Yeah, he is.
honestly,
That's what
I
that video
am
today.
easily the loudest
You're going wild.
crowd.
You were
I
shouting,
was
get the
going wild, yeah.
tables and grab a
I
chair.
really was.
You're going wild, man.
But yeah, I think, of course you do, don't you? Though, if you only see something big like that once a year,
Yeah.
you've got to. I think that's the thing, though. A lot
You
of
gotta
wrestling
make it
fans
last.
you're gonna agree with me on this. If you're a wrestling fan and you're a die-hard wrestling fan, you love the industry that much, you're gonna go wild, aren't you? Because it's sort of it's sort of an
Yeah.
It's not. I wouldn't say
Adrenaline rush.
obligation. It's adrenaline. Yeah, rush of adrenaline. And for a lot of people that love wrestling, unfortunately, don't have what it takes to be a wrestler. They might have, and that's, I'm not being discriminative, but if you can't be a wrestler, be a wrestling fan. You know, that's word of advice.
That's one of the greatest things I've ever heard.
I know that
Well,
sounds so
obviously
stupid,
not,
doesn't
but
it?
it's one of the most true things I've ever heard. Etc.
Anyone who wants to be in the industry, you mean?
Yeah,
like,
as you know,
doesn't have to be wrestling.
like what we're doing now, it doesn't have to be wrestling. You know, it can be,
Podcasting.
you know, like what we're doing. Podcasts.
Writing.
You know, vlog.
Cameraman. Clothes designer, so on, etc.
Well, there's always going to be a lot of it, especially in the UK as well, because right now,
it's getting
like you
bigger and
guys
bigger.
were saying, with
That's
Progress,
the place you want to scout
IPW,
if you have a good
etc.,
wrestling company.
Like, there's pretty much, I mean, like, some of the top indie stars in the world right now, Zack Sabre Jr., Will Ospreay, Grado,
It's all
Drew
over in
Galloway,
the
they're
UK,
people from
US,
the
or
UK.
Japan.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All
Yeah, I mean,
they're the
like,
biggest ones. Like Canada have a few.
yeah.
Even Europe, other places in Europe do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think in particular though, the UK seems to be
It's the place where you want
they seem
to watch.
Yeah, in terms of indies, it's really growing.
Rising,
There really is a
rising.
market for it. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, there's always going to be plenty of stuff out there.
Yeah,
I think
of course.
a lot of the UK guys, they're going to get into NXT, and hopefully, you never know. I mean, we're yet to actually have a
British champion.
UK-born
World
WWE
champion.
World Heavyweight Champion. So
Well,
you never know. Could happen one day.
We've had an Irish one.
Yeah, but we've had an Irish
we've had
one.
Sheamus.
The Republic.
Southern
Yeah,
Irish. But...
if you're referring to British, you mean as in English. The only place that's happened has actually been TNA with Magnus before he left.
Yeah.
Never had one. I think British Bulldog should have had one, but he never got the chance.
Yeah. I think he had a lot of drug problems. British
Wade
Bulldog.
Barrett could have, but then he got injured. He was getting a push and he got injured.
Yeah, he was just way. I really like Wade Barrett, but he was so injury prone, and they buried him in Nexus as well. So
and people thought he was. People actually started to like him as bad news, and then next thing you know, he's King Barrett.
Yeah.
They ruined it.
Yeah.
No one cared about
Although
him.
props to Barrett being King Barrett, he did win King of the Ring twice.
Yeah, but everyone, people finally started to like him as King Barrett. Next thing you know, he's had. I mean, Bad News Barrett. People eventually started liking him. And the next thing you know, King Barrett. No one likes him. Now he's gone.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. King of the Ring, you know, is very, very good. And like what I was thinking of was sort of, you know, like you said, Jamie, but we do need, and MCC, you did say we do need an English.
Yeah, it will happen one day.
WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
We'll have
Well, let's hope it. Yeah, it's inevitable. You know what I mean?
And it's WWE like crashes.
Yeah.
It goes out of nowhere.
Yeah. I think I think there's a lot of misconceptions isn't there about you know, what people say when they go British, or there's misconceptions with British wrestlers or going so you know, there's misconceptions everywhere. I think
we deserve a bigger name in the UK scene. We deserve a bigger name because not many people know about us outside Europe.
Yeah.
We've got a much bigger name.
Speaking of Europe and stuff like, I know we've left the EU according to the thanks to the referendum, but is it going to affect British wrestlers' jobs? Is it?
Probably not.
Are
But
British wrestlers going to be able to get out there? Are they going to be able to get to the big time? You know.
Yeah, could make a huge difference. I mean, you think about a lot of the European talents that actually came over and wrestled in the UK, they would have actually made a name for themselves in the UK, which is a huge wrestling market, and that's how they actually get picked up by WWE. And then vice versa to that, a lot of people like Will Ospreay, Paige as well, she used to do this when she was a teenager. They used to go over to Europe, wrestle in Germany, Switzerland, all sorts of places like that, and get a lot of experience and get them better. So
and get a bigger fan base.
The UK,
it's going to be incredibly hard now.
Yeah, so the UK and Europe being separate, that's going to cause a lot of trouble.
You can't really travel freely much
a lot
anymore.
of wrestlers now. Yeah, especially considering how tight the wrestlers' budgets are as well. So that's going to be a
I don't know
huge
how
Yeah, I
long.
mean, speaking from experience, like some greats, British greats, start at £50. I mean,
They don't get a lot in indies, like until
also
they hit the
though,
big
when you
time.
think about it, when you think about it, they say they charge, between the cheapest they go for is 50, then 75, and then you get some that go. Um, the fact is, we actually don't see that price. We don't get paid what we quote because of depending on ticket sales, merch sales, we might have to what you don't know unless you're in the big time. Your name's John Cena, or
Yeah.
you're lucky to see maybe like I'm gonna uh like from what I know and from when I've had a dark match. You know,
When you got injured and
um,
stuff.
yeah. We also have to pay. We pay a share of what goes towards
The company.
the funds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna tell you this. If we quote £120, we probably won't get that. We've got to pay obviously for
It's like
training.
taxes, like paying
So out of it,
taxes.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So out of the
That's what it's
£120
like.
or whatever, we'll probably see about quid if that.
Mm.
You know, I think kind of for like bigger, like larger firms. I mean, it's going to be very, very hard for someone like Dave Mastiff to make a name in someone like
The
WWE.
age he is and the weight he is and all that.
But saying that though, Dave Mastiff is a big man and he can move. He can. I don't know if any of you saw his
I've
appearance
seen a
on
few of his
TNA British Boot
matches.
Camp 2. You've seen his
Not
matches, you've
familiar
seen.
with him.
He's
All
a
right.
big man, so you need to know. He's a big man.
I think what we if you look on YouTube, he does like a lucha roll drill where he's doing flips and rolls that someone like Rey
Well, like his
Mysterio would
cannonball
do.
thing. I've seen that.
His cannonball senton is,
Yeah, I've seen that.
I'm going to tell you from experience, that is not fun. You see a man who's about 325 pounds, you're sat, you know, he runs and then jumps and throws all his body weight into you. It is not fun.
It doesn't sound comfortable,
It's like,
to be honest.
it's highly uncomfortable. I mean, you know, obviously, like I said earlier, there is a bit of showmanship to make it, there's your cells to make it look like you really hurt. But I'm going to tell you, that move genuinely hurts. And, when you get slapped across the chest,
Yeah,
that's not fake. It's called a stinger for a reason because it
yeah, it
stings. And
burns.
well, it burns. It leaves handprints. It can cut you. It's sort of
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
got to
he's
be in
got
that
red
mindset of
marks and all that.
yeah. You've got to have that mindset of I could end up in hospital at any given moment for this in this job. That's the thing that most people can't get into their heads.
Yeah.
I mean, MCC, if is that what you'd want? Is that what have you ever considered being a wrestler or having anything to do with? I mean, I'm curious because like you've got such a great community. I'm very proud to be part of it. I'm sure there's some people listening to this who are, is it
I
just
mean, I'm not sure, to be honest. I really have no idea. I mean, that community, it's the people who made that community. It's just people who like NXT, who like wrestling in general.
yeah,
That's all it is at the end of the day. It's just people who are passionate about something and they all come together and they just put it over, get the word out, get NXT's name out there.
yeah,
So hopefully we can hopefully improve the industry
you know
if
what?
we
I
make NXT
think
popular.
Oh,
um
guys, I got some sad news. Alright, it's that
go on.
Dave Meltzer stuff. Uh, WWE officials told Dave Meltzer that Kurt Angle will not return to the company.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was
announced
it was
earlier. Yeah,
inevitable, wasn't it?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
He is
inevitable.
47.
I mean, he's 47, and during his time in Impact, when he's done his moonsault off the cage on Jeff Jarrett, and he's missed that moonsault. Saying that, like he did at the 1996 games with a broken neck. So that was always going to be a problem for him. Let
Chances are he probably wouldn't pass the tests to actually get into
and he's had to
WWE
have
again, get signed again.
he's had to have fluid drained from him several times, so that also incapacitates him a little bit.
Yeah, and if he did came in, he'd only have like a 1 to 2 year contract probably. The age he is and what he does.
Yeah, I think though, if he can't be part of WWE as an active competitor, I think he's got enough experience and sort of he's got the knowledge to actually be maybe a writer,
But
maybe
then
a
again,
match.
people like Scott Steiner still wrestle with him now and then.
He's quite a stable. He's
I
part
like
of
Scott
GFW,
Steiner.
isn't he?
Yeah, I like Scott Steiner. Big fan.
Yeah.
The Steiner brothers. Yeah.
I've no idea what GFW's doing now because apparently they
That was overhyped.
tape some stuff, but they don't know whether or not they'll be using it or if they'll be taping some more stuff. But who knows what's happening there?
He was
There
very
seems to be some
overhyped,
sort of
that shit,
scam
but
going on as well because Jeff Jarrett's got like some sort of goal, like where you can like earn gold or something like that, or earn loads of money. But it's really no one really knows what's happening with GFW at the moment.
Right. It seems to me that sort of with these wrestlers that can't wrestle anymore should actually be part of creative because they actually know, don't they, really?
I think
They know.
I think it depends. Like some of them can be creative, some of them can be bookers. I think like people who have the mindset for the business should be bookers. Writers do have a place, but it shouldn't take over from the actual wrestling mindset of booking, in my opinion.
Would you say though it'd be harder for a former wrestler to take that responsibility? I mean, they've been so used to putting the body on the line, for years, week in, week out, the same way, that we do as trainees,
It depends, because someone like Jeff Jarrett's dad, he owns territories back in the 60s and 70s, maybe the 80s. So he was a former wrestler himself. And then obviously Jeff Jarrett as well. He founded TNA with Jerry Jarrett, his dad. And TNA was really, really good back then. But then, of course, they brought in people like Dixie Carter, who honestly knows nothing about wrestling.
Yeah.
And
Although
that's
props to Dixie
why...
Carter, I have to say I respect her for that bump she took when she did take, the power bomb from the second rope.
I don't
through
watch
the
much
table.
Impact. So I don't really know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I respect her for
I
that.
watch it every
It's
now
like
and then.
it's like that with Stephanie McMahon. She doesn't really know wrestling, and what she does know it's from Triple H and her dad and Shane. Well,
I think she's got like the psychology for it because she was brought up in it from birth, just like Shane McMahon as well. Like he was talking about when he was on Mick Foley's podcast. So I think she has that part, but like you were saying, she's not. At the end of the day, she's not physically a part of the in-ring product. So that she should stay away from. But just being present as a McMahon, as the daughter of.
Do you reckon though that the name
guy.
McMahon, though, she's actually abusing it? She's abusing it to sort of get what she wants. Like I think, obviously, Vince and Shane, they were competitors as well, and I can understand Shane sort of still holding on to McMahon. I mean, I know Stephanie's a former women's champion. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think she deserves the name. She wasn't great, was she?
Which is the name of God.
Exactly, it's the case of the name, isn't it? Really, it's a bit. It's same.
That's what I don't like. Like I hate it when like people say like you're so proud, like you've shown off about having a name, like your parent was on a wrestler, but it just shows that there is like a good reason why you're here is because of your name.
Yeah.
It just shows up.
I think though, it's alright for them to have that name, but they've also got to make an impact themselves. They've got to do something.
I can't just live off one of your parents' name.
I mean, know Charlotte's the current women's champion, but let's be fair, she's not doing it on her own. She's having to resort to having Dana Brooke cheat for her to win, or have
Cheat to win.
Rick distract the referee. Or,
Mm.
yeah, I think if you put her in a straight up, say, Iron Woman match, and have both Rick, well, she's already kicked Rick, but once she kicks Dana, have, ban Dana,
But she has no
and
one.
put her against Becky Lynch. Yeah, I don't think it'd be over very, very quickly.
Have you heard that rumor that Daniel Bryan is gonna sorry, losing my words, gonna become a commentator
That's a rumor that I had heard
on
about,
SmackDown
but also
for the draft pick?
he's still with the company.
Be a
That'd
commentator.
be interesting. I mean,
I can't really
I
see him doing
think-
anything out of the WWE because of his fan base, because his yes, yes, yes movement.
yeah, the Yes movement is still going strong.
It's still going on now.
Um,
His t-shirts still sell. So
Yeah.
I don't think he would do anything out of the WWE.
What do you think, MCC?
I mean, it's just any excuse to see Daniel Bryan at the end of the day. He's supposed to be hosting the Cruiserweight Classic, so we will be seeing a lot more of him.
Or he could just commentate
but
NXT. Like,
Yeah,
just
I
bring
mean,
Bullet
he'd be a
or
great commentator because he's one of those guys who always put other people over.
He's
Like
smart
he
as
won't
well.
put anyone, he won't
good
put
wrestling
anyone
logic.
down. Yeah, exactly. And he's got the mindset. He knows what the moves are actually called as well.
Mhm.
Unlike Michael Cole, who will call
Yeah.
the wrong moves. So yeah,
And Michael Cole's boring now.
any reason to have Daniel Bryan around is good.
I think it's going to be funny because, like, it's like
His big
with
name as well. WWE.
it's going to be funny because if Michael Cole called the Calf Killer the Calf Crusher again, Daniel Bryan would be like, actually, the move's the Calf Killer. It
Yeah.
has been. That's what it's
They
gonna say.
can't they couldn't call it the Calf Killer because that's what you called it in New Japan, but they're a bit iffy about the word killer, so that's why they renamed it to Calf
TPG,
Crusher in
TPG.
WWE.
It doesn't make
Yeah.
much sense though, really.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't.
I think
it
the
just
club's
doesn't add up,
just
does it?
plain. Pure plain. I think that's an
I
awful
think
name.
it's
No,
plain laziness.
no detail. No detail. I'm talking about detail. And no, nothing.
Yeah, that's
Not very creative.
that's
Is what
all.
I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's tough. But
Ronan.
yeah, he's definitely asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. I think we're about at the 2 hour mark now.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think we are.
Pretty sleepy as well. So
Yeah. Listen,
any last thoughts, guys?
I just think the WWE at the minute is just there's a lot of greatness to come, but we've also got to accept there's going to be some stupid stuff as well. We've got to take the bad with the good, haven't we, really? And
Yeah.
the bad is going to hit so much harder first. What would you say, Jamie?
Ah, pretty speechless now. I think
Yeah.
All right,
I think
well,
it's at that stage.
it's time
yeah,
to end
it
it.
is.
Alright, okay.
Listen,
With 2 hours and 5
thanks
minutes.
very much.
So the one
Yeah,
more
Thanks very
question.
much,
So
MCC.
Battlegrounds. Who's winning the main event at Battlegrounds? Just the one more.
Dean Ambrose.
Just yeah, I'm gonna have to say
Retain.
Ambrose. Ambrose to retain. I think though.
The fans love him. They
that's a
can't just take
question.
it off the fans like that.
I think the
Guys,
fans are gonna
retain once.
enjoy this question. Listen, if we're gonna end it here, I'd like to thank MCC greatly for being our first guest.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
World's gifts ever,
It's been so much fun.
ever.
It's,
You could be a
and,
part of history, you know,
We
MCC.
hope,
Part of history.
yeah, you are a part of history, and hopefully we will be too. This is going to be a weekly thing. We do apologise for the late start, but I
Hope we can talk
personally
to
I'd
you
love
more
to say
often.
thank you. Yeah, definitely.
you. Yeah, and you.
But leave comments. We'd love to hear more from you, and thank you very much for being part of this.
And if
and
like,
just
someone's
keep doing
out,
what you're doing, man. Your
someone's out of the
community.
podcast, if you ever want to come back,
Oh
we're
yeah,
up for any
please
reserve spots.
consider
If you want to
coming back. Yeah.
come back.
So yeah, that was. This has been Slam Studios. I've been Callum Stevens.
Yep.
Thanks very much,
Cool.
and we can't wait for the next one.